Good morning, beloveds. It is Monday, July 13th, and I think my glasses are filthy. I'm not sure, though. Uh, it's finally hit that point in the year that it's too hot to go to the gym, which is in a garage right now, in a t-shirt. So I've switched to the tank top. So welcome to shoulders. Yeah, so let's move on into the reading. That's why I'm blinding you with my shoulders today. They get no sun outside of this brief period in the year where it's too hot. Okay. So, July 13th, in the month of freedom, our topic today, or our title today is, I Judge and Am Judged with the Justice of God. My judgment is just because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. And that is John 5:30. Okay. So, Jesus, the greatest of all the illumined, said, Judge not, that ye be not judged, for with what judgment ye judge shall ye be judged. By which he meant that we cannot judge others harshly without receiving back into our own consciousness and experience the very thing we claim for others. While Jesus was the most compassionate of all people, he was also the most just, for he knew that our lives are governed by an exact and immutable law of cause and effect. He knew, and we must all learn, that it is impossible to wish something for someone else without at the same time willing it for ourselves. If we all were to follow this rule, we should become more kind, if only for the purpose of self-preservation and personal happiness. For no one wishes to injure himself. Always, then, we are placed in this position. We dare not wish anything for anyone that we would be unwilling to accept for ourselves. If everyone were to live by this rule, there would be no injustice in the world. Infinite Spirit within me, which is God, cause me to think and act kindly. Constrain my mind to gentleness and peace. Guide my thoughts into loving kindness and eternal forgiveness. And cause me in all my ways to follow the path of truth and justice. I judge no person and am judged by none. It is my sincere desire that everything I do or say or think will come into harmony with universal truth and peace, with love and joy. Consciously, I let go of everything that is unkind and seek to enter into communion with the eternal Spirit, that I shall reflect to my environment and manifest in all that I do the spirit of kindness, of justice, and compassion. And that's a Monday for you. Actually, I think that's a really good one for Monday. Yeah, that's a really good one for Monday. That's a hard one. Judge not, lest you be judged. But I think Ernest makes it pretty clear that is about the idea of what you want for yourself, you want for others. So if you are judging others to a standard which you can't live up to or don't want to live up to, that's where we're getting ourselves into trouble. Ernest calls Jesus the master teacher, and then quotes well, in here he calls him the greatest of the illumined. Judge not, that ye be not judged, for with what judgment ye judge shall ye be judged. Ooh, okay, that's a mouthful. But then he proceeds to explain it in this way, that he we cannot judge others harshly without receiving back into our own consciousness and experience the very things we claim for others. Jesse quotes, and I don't know who it is, so I'd have to go look it up. Let people walk unhindered through your consciousness. It's like when you think of other people, think of them kindly, compassionate. Don't drag everything back that they have ever, any mistakes that they've made. Because then you will be reminded of your mistakes. And while we are all perfect beings, none of us are flawless beings, and we all make mistakes. It's a call to compassion. It's a call to kindness. It is not a call to be a doormat and let people walk all over you, though. But it is a call to be compassionate, because that's he goes on. Okay, so without receiving back into our own consciousness and experience the very things we claim for others. While Jesus was the most compassionate of all people, he was also the most just, for he knew that our lives were governed by an exact and immutable law of cause and effect. So when we make a mistake, then we will, I hate to use the word, we will be punished by our own mistakes. And frequently, we will punish ourselves far more for our own mistakes than anybody else could punish us for us. So it is compassion. It's allowing people to be human while still recognizing the God within them. I think I need way more experience for this one. He knew, and we all must learn, that it is impossible to wish something for someone else without the same thing at the same time willing it for ourselves. We are the multitude from the one. When we harm another, we harm ourselves. When we heal another, we heal ourselves. Well, when we assist in the healing of another, because the only person who can heal you is you. The only thing I can do to assist in that healing process is to hold the space until you can recognize it for yourself. I don't heal you, I awaken. I help you awaken to your own healer within, is, I guess, a good way to say that. So, if we were to follow this rule, we should become more kind, if only for the purpose of self-preservation and personal happiness, for no one wishes to injure himself. What you do to the least of me, you do to me. That's another Jesus quote. So when we judge one another harshly, we're judging ourselves harshly. And when we judge one another with compassion, then we judge ourselves with compassion. There are always those people in your life who are just kind, even when you just screw up. And those people truly are a gift, and I aspire to be more like them. Do I always manage? No. And then occasionally I will reap the results of that. All right. Always then we are placed in this position. We dare not wish anything for anyone else that we would be unwilling to accept for ourselves. When we recognize that we are all part of the same whole, then we wish for one another only good, because we don't want to muddy the waters. If everyone were to live by this rule, there would be no injustice in the world. And that right there is one of the reasons why our motto is, for Centers for Spiritual Living, a world that works for everyone. Because we wish for everyone what we wish for ourselves. So, the second paragraph, as always, this is our power statement. This is the realization part of treatment. Infinite Spirit within me, which is God, cause me to think and act kindly, constrain my mind to gentleness and peace, guide my thoughts into loving kindness and eternal forgiveness, and cause me in all my ways to follow the path of truth and justice. When you are facing something that you are not sure how you are going to get through it, that right there is enough of a prayer. I mean, that's pretty much a treatment in and of itself. Infinite Spirit within me, cause me to think and act, constrain my mind to gentleness, giving people a pass through my consciousness. I judge no person and am judged by none. Regardless of what society tells us, we don't have to judge each other. And if we cannot judge each other, then perhaps we can get to the place where we don't judge ourselves. It is my sincere desire that everything I do or say or think will come into harmony with universal truth and peace, with love and joy. It is my sincere desire. So I'm stating, this is what I want. I want to make sure that everything that I do and say will come into harmony. I wish to harm none. I wish to be a soft place for people to fall. I wish to be a gentle, loving presence in this world. I treat to be. Consciously, I let go of everything that is unkind and seek to so enter in communion with the eternal Spirit that I shall reflect my environment and manifest in all that I do the spirit of kindness, of justice, and of compassion. So I'm going to let go of everything that is unkind. It's not the first thought. The first thought is what you've been taught to think. It's your second thought. So when you are reacting instead of responding, don't judge yourself for that. What is your second thought? If your second thought is gentleness, kindness, and compassion, you're okay. All right. So for Monday, we got a lesson in judging. And I actually think that's a great way to start the week. To start the week with a lesson in kindness and compassion and remembering the one. So I'm going to move on into my day and get my week going. And I wish for you the best week possible. And I definitely encourage you to do something kind for yourself, do something loving for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Make sure that you get your fresh air and your fresh perspective. And get some movement in that gets you into your groove. Whatever that looks like today. Because when I showed up at the gym, I was definitely in one mood. And he made me work for it. And I left in a much better mood. So, do what it takes for you. Alright? And remember, you are the beloved child of God in whom He is well pleased. Do what you need to do to make it a fantastic and wonderful day, beloveds. I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Reverend David will be on with you at around 5 today. The service yesterday was really amazing. So please check it out. You can go back and click on the videos and watch the Facebook Live if you want to hear the music, or head over to our YouTube channel, Creative Life Spiritual Center, if you just want to hear Jesse's talk. We got a new practitioner yesterday, so that's really cool too. All right? And I left that announcement in the YouTube as well as is on the Facebook Live. So thank you. Have a loving day, beloveds.